Hey guys, okay, I have a very loud dryer, so I hope you can hear over me, which I'm sure you can. Okay, so today you are going to learn about the quadratic formula. 12.5 is the quadratic formula. And the formula looks like this. Hey, Allie! Come here. So negative b plus or minus b squared minus 4ac. Hold on. Don't go anywhere. Yeah, you are.
No, I'm not.
Allie knows a song.
No, I don't.
All over to a... Come here. Sing the song for the Alg.1 students. There's a song, and I have it, I think, posted on my proto page.
We still sing it for Dr. Gat.
They sing it for Dr. Gat. Come on, Allie, come sing it. She won't do it. And I'm not going to do it. So anyway, if you look on my proto page, there's a song that will help you to memorize this formula. Friday is your quiz over this stuff, and yes, this will be included. And I'm letting y'all use your notes, so make sure you are taking some notes and everything. I believe it's written also in your book, so if you want, you can use your book and everything. But there's the formula. If you learn the song, you'll be able to remember it. If you were in class, you would not be using notes and everything. You'd have to memorize it. So keep in mind, Algebra 2 and everything, you're going to have this memorized. All right, so here we go. Can you hear me? Just kidding. Steps to solving using the quadratic formula. Step 1, write the equation in standard form. Standard form, if you recall, let me move this arrow out of there. It is ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. You've been seeing that a lot with this chapter, I'm sure. Okay, so you first write the equation in standard form. Step 2. By the way, as scary as this looks, it's really not. Because, again, all you're doing is plugging in the information. Look, here's A. It's going to go in the slot for A. Here's your B. It'll go in your slot for B. Here's C. It goes in your slot for C. Then you go ahead and solve. Step 2. Identify the values of A, B, and C. Okay? Identify the values of A, B, and C. And I'm going to put like the arrow here. Oh, in my notes from last year and the year before that and the year before that, I have it highlighted. So there we go. I happen to have a highlighter here. Okay, identify the values of A, B, and C. Like if this was a 2, and that's a 4, and that's a -6, etc., etc. Step 3, substitute these values into the quadratic formula and simplify. Remember, you must show all work for credit, or I will not give you credit for your answer, even if it is correct. Okay, you've been hearing this from me. You've been reading it because I've been sending y'all messages and everything, so no surprises there if you do not get credit for a correct answer because you didn't show your work. Okay, so let's get started on the examples. Again, step 3, substitute these values into the quadratic formula and simplify. Guys, you're just plugging in the letters and doing the work. All right, so turn to page 505. Okay, turn to page 505. All right, here we go. I'm going to jump in. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 examples to do. 4. That's it. The rest, you're going to be good to go after that. Okay, so number 7. Number 7 is x squared plus 6x plus 8 equals 0. Okay, remember step 1 says write the equation in standard form. So is this in standard form? ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. There you go. It's in standard form. Okay, so the formula for the quadratic formula is x equals negative b plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Now we just plug in our information. I hope I don't run out of room. Okay, so I have negative b. What is b? 6. So if it's negative b, it's going to be negative 6. Plus or minus square root. What is b squared? Well, here's my b, so it's 6 squared minus 4 times a. What's a? Right here, 1. Remember imaginary 1. And then times c. c is 8. So see, I'm plugging it all in. b squared, 6 squared, minus 4ac. 4 times a times c. 4 times a, which is 1, times c, which is 8. All over 2 times a. Well, a is 1. So 2 times 1. Okay, so now we simplify. Negative 6 plus or minus, we work inside here. Zachary's trying to call me, Dan. All right, 6 squared is 36. 4 times 1 times 8 is 32. So minus 32. What's 2 times 1? 2. Okay, so look back over what I'm doing. This is my formula, and I'm just plugging in the information from here. A is 1, B is 6, C is 8. Plugged it all in. 6 squared is 36. 4 times 1 times 8 is 32, so minus 32. 2 times 1 is 2. 36 minus 32 is what? Don't forget that square root sign. There we go. See, I just keep simplifying. What is the square root of 4? 2. So negative 6 plus or minus 2 over 2. All right, now that we're here, remember those arrows from yesterday? Ooh, I'm running out of room. Okay, because that plus and minus. So this top one, I'm going to do it up here. Negative 6 plus 2 over 2. And then down here, I'm going to have negative 6 minus 2 over 2. What is negative 6 plus 2? Negative 4 over 2. What is negative 4 divided by 2? Negative 2. So there's 1. What is negative 6 and negative 2? Negative 8 over 2. What's negative 8 divided by 2? Negative 4. So then my answer is x equals negative 2, comma, negative 4. There's my, whoops, I forgot to box it instead of circle. There's my answer. So look this over if you need to pause the video. I'll even put it just like this. You can pause the video, you can write that whole thing down, or even take a picture. Okay? Wrote out the formula, substituted the correct number for the variable, and then I just started solving. 6 squared, and then negative 4 times 1 and 8, subtracted, square root of 4 is 2. I just kept rewriting all this here. And then, because of that plus and minus, I have my arrows. This is going to be the plus, and right here is going to be the minus. And you work it out, and there's your answer. Okay. This time I'll have a little bit more space. 11. Okay, the problem for number 11. A squared minus 9 equals 0. All right, if my formula is, or the form is supposed to be in, is a squared plus bx plus c equals 0, would this be, it's already in correct form, right? Notice that the bx is missing. We have the ax squared, we have the c, but the bx, the regular x or the regular a or whatever, it's missing. So, and even though that's an a, it's okay. So what would the a be? Pretend that that's an x, by the way. I don't know why they do that. It's 1. Is there a number here? No. So it's 1. Do we have a bx here? Do we have it? No. So it's 0, guys. It's 0. We have a c. C is negative 9. Okay? So here's the form. We have, you could even, guys, pretend that that's an x squared. That's what that is. Okay? That's what that is. Why'd they put an a here? I'll never know. This book is stupid. Okay, so do you get that? This would be 1. The b, there's nothing here. It's missing. C is negative 9. Okay, so we write out the formula. Plus minus square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. You gotta know the song. All right, so let's start plugging it in. What is our b? Our b is 0 because it wasn't included in that equation. So it's not negative 0, it's just 0. So 0 plus or minus, again, b is 0, so we could say 0 squared, even though we know it's going to end up being 4 times 1 times negative 9. All over 2 times a. What is a? 1. Y'all see where I'm getting this? If this is confusing because they put a dumb old a there, pretend that that's an x, and then you'll see it, okay? I can even rewrite this formula right here as x squared minus 9 equals 0, and then if I were to put that formula right on top, notice that the bx is missing, plus c, that's c, so it would look almost like this. X squared plus 0 minus 9 equals 0 sort of thing. I'm afraid since you're not in class, I can't even explain it if you're lost right here. Hopefully you're getting it. Okay. Now we start solving. Don't even worry about all that, but hopefully y'all get where I'm going. Okay, so there's nothing here, so I'm just going to leave that 0 out. 0 squared is 0. I don't even need to worry about that anymore, right? So now we do negative 4 times 1, which is negative 4. So negative 4 times negative 9 is a positive 36. What is 2 times 1? 2. All right? What is the square root of 36? 6. So plus minus 6 over 2. All right, you got to do those arrows. So up here, I'm going to have a positive 6 divided by 2. And then right here, I'm going to have a negative 6 divided by 2. 6 divided by 2 is 3. There's one of them. Negative 6 divided by positive 2 is negative 3. So your answer is x equals positive and negative 3. Okay? All right. Here, I'll put this here. If you need to pause it and you'll see the whole page in one, you can. Remember, I wrote up here what each letter of the quadratic formula, the A, the B, and the C, and everything, what they all meant. And we solved it. So you can pause it, write this whole thing down, take a picture. It's okay. Okay. Number 19. This is another one. 2y squared minus 5y equals negative 1. All right, is this in this form? No, it's not, because it's not equal to 0. This time we have the ax squared represented, the bx represented, and the c is represented, but it's on the wrong side of the equal sign. So we need to move it over there. We do that by adding 1 to both sides. So now we have 2y squared minus 5y plus 1 equals 0. Okay, so now we have the formula in the correct form. So let me ask you, what is your A? A is 2. What is your B? Negative 5. See that? Make sure you include that negative sign. What is your C? Plus 1 or positive 1. Okay? Here, I'll even write this on top here. There's the form that's supposed to be in. It tells you that A is 2, the B is negative 5, C is 1. And I have it written right there. Okay, so let's get started. The formula is negative b plus minus square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Okay, we'll start plugging it in. My b is negative 5, correct? Don't forget about that negative sign. So it's going to be negative 5 plus or minus square root b squared. So it's negative 5 squared minus 4 times a, which is 2, times c, which is 1. All over 2 times a. A is 2. There you go. Now, negative and negative gives you a what, guys? Positive. So positive 5 plus or minus. What is negative 5 squared? That's negative 5 times negative 5. So negative times a negative is positive. So I have 25. Minus, what's negative 4 times 2? Negative 8. Times 1? Negative 8. And then 2 times 2 is 4. Okay, so we keep working. What's 25 minus 8? X equals 5 plus or minus square root of 17 all over 4. Okay, guess what? I'm going to make sure. Because this right here is prime, because that right there is prime, You're done. This is the answer. You make sure you simplify all you can. Okay? Make sure you can simplify all you can. And we did. There's no radical sign at the bottom. We can't do 5 divided by 4. You can't do 5 plus this radical. You can't do it. You can't do 5 minus that radical. There's nothing else we can do. I can't do my little arrows and do 5 plus radical 7 over 4 because it won't change. It's still going to be this in the end. So you went as far as you can go, and so that's it. Again, on this stuff, that's why, and you're going to put this back. Y'all can take a picture. I can't get it all. Yeah, I can. I can get most of it. There you go. So first, you got to make sure it's in this form, which y'all did, or we did, I did. And then once you go from that, you go to here. Now, you need to like take a picture or copy this down so that when you're doing your homework, you can see what happens when you get to certain answers, okay? When you stop, when you keep going, this and that. When you're doing this homework, if you're not certain, if you're doing it right, you can send me a message or something. Ask me questions, seriously, okay? Because this stuff is kind of weird, and I'd rather you ask me if you're doing it right, or Miss Rogers, did I get this right? And I say yes or no. I'd rather that and you learn than you get everything wrong, okay? Especially since the next day you will be having a quiz on this. Okay, which leads me to the last example, but also some of you are waiting until the next day. Like if this is being posted at 8 a.m. Thursday morning. Your quiz is Friday, and it's due that day. Some of you are waiting until like the next day, at the end of the day, to actually do your homework. Guys, that's not going to work for this. Hopefully, you start on this the day that it was assigned, because your quiz is going to cover this stuff. And if you do it Friday night, and then post this and think I'm going to hurry up and grade it for you, no, it ain't going to happen. It's Friday night. I'm done teaching at a certain time on Friday. So y'all better make sure you get this stuff done during regular business hours, or you won't be hearing from Mrs. Rogers, just so y'all know. Okay, 21. Did you hear that? Did you hear me say that? Talking to my family because they're tired of me working 24 hours a day. Okay, 3x squared equals 7. All right, this is your last example for this work. Guys, format has to be ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. All right, first of all, this is not going to work. This is not equal 0 at all. So we need to move that 7 over. That's a positive 7, so we need to subtract 7 on both sides. Those cancel out. We're left with 3x squared minus 7 equals 0. Notice something missing? Yep, we're missing the bx part. We have the ax squared here, and we have the plus c right here, but the plus bx, it's missing. Put a little question mark there. That's just like this problem right here, where the bx is missing from here. All right, so up here on top, what is your A? Your A is 3. What is your B? If it's not in the equation, what do we say it is? 0. That would be the same if there was like anything else missing. You just say it's 0. C, what is C? Negative 7. Okay? All right, now we can start working. Formula. I encourage you guys to write this down. It's the only way to memorize it, because it's a big and ugly. All right, b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Ooh, now I can hear myself think. Okay, let's start plugging information. B is 0. So I have 0 plus or minus 0 squared minus 4 times A is 3, times C is negative 7. It's all over 2 times A is 3. Now we start working. I don't need to include that 0 anymore because it doesn't exist. 0 squared is nothing, so I'm getting rid of that. So right here, negative 4 times 3 times negative 7. First of all, negative times negative is going to give you positive. So negative 4 times 3 times negative 7 is going to give you a positive 84. 2 times 3 is 6. Okay, remember I said on the other page, on the other side of this, you have to simplify as far as you can. Excuse me, that's not a perfect square, and it's not prime because it's even. So we have to over here do our factor tree. Okay, so two numbers would multiply, give me 84. 2 times 42. And then I can do 2 times 21. And then 7 times 3. There's my prime numbers. I'm going to write them down in order. 2 times 2 times 3 times 7. Make sure you cross them out when you write them down so you don't forget one. We're going to circle our pairs because what is our root that's missing? It's 2. So we circle any groups of 2, and we have that. These two, they go inside the radical sign. So then I have x equals plus or minus. That goes on the outside of that radical sign, so 2 times square root of 3 times 7. All over 6. What's 3 times 7, guys? 21. Okay, so look here. Let's go back here. I know y'all know how to get to here. But you can't just stop. Tanya, don't say anything about my nails. I know you just saw that. Okay, I know you see this. It's not prime. You have to simplify it. So we did our factor tree, wrote out our prime factors. Because of that root being 2, we circle our groups of 2. That group of 2 goes on the outside. What's left over goes on the inside. So then 3 times 7 is 21. And I rewrote everything else. So I think you get that now. Okay. Now, notice this right here. Can we simplify that? Yes, we can. 2 goes into 2. Let me show you. Plus minus. 2 goes into 2 how many times? 1 times square root of 21. 2 goes into 6 how many times? 3. There you go. Do we have to have that 1 there? No, we don't. But this 21, can we simplify it any further? No, it's just 3 times 7. That's it. There's no pairs, there's no nothing. So this is simplified as far as it can go. So guys, this is your answer. Now, I can say that this is my answer, or for those of you that understand that that 1 doesn't have to be there, you can have it written like this. Some of you, like Owen loves to keep that 1 there because it makes sense to him. It makes sense to a lot of people. I know Viviana likes to keep that 1 there. A lot of you do because that's the way it's supposed to be written. You don't like imaginary numbers, and I'm totally on board with that. So that's why I said either 1, it's the same answer. So whichever one you're comfortable with is okay. Keep in mind right here, we simplified this because we can. It's one of the and I'm done with the examples, and y'all need to make sure you're writing all this stuff down for when you're doing your homework. And that's why I said if you're questioning whether you're getting the answers right or not, then go ahead and hit me a text message or something, and I'll help you out. But when you get down close to the end, you notice every problem was done differently. Pretty much every problem, the final answer was simplified or done very differently. So what you have to do is sit there and ask yourself, is there anything else I can do? Can I simplify that? Can I simplify this? Put it in lowest terms. What can you do? If you were to tell me this was your answer, I would probably message you back and explain that you need to take that into lowest terms, okay? So even on the quiz, because this is some weird stuff, and I have to teach this to you, and if I'm not in the classroom with you, it's kind of a disservice too. So I'll work with you on it, but you need to get to at least this part, okay? You need to understand this top part, and then when you get here, if you're a little confused, I can help you through that. There's not a whole lot of students in the class, so that's a blessing. If you have any questions, let me know. You're going to be doing page 505. You're going to be doing numbers, let's see, we went to 21. Okay, you're going to be doing eight problems. So you're going to be doing 8 to number 22. Even, and they're due Friday. Okay, there's only 8 problems, so you need to be careful. The first couple are going to be a lot easier than 18, 20, and 22. Don't leave off those 3 because they're challenging, because then you're going to get an F on your homework, right? Yes, you are. So don't just blow them off. Don't use a math app because you have to show all your work. And if you think those math apps are going to show you steps like this, you're crazy. I will know if you're cheating. I know. So don't try it. This is due Friday. Your quiz on all this stuff for this chapter is also Friday. Be ready. As far as your exam, you will not be having a semester exam. You will be having a 6 weeks exam. Okay? I'm going to make sure that, because this chapter is a little hard, it's going to be kind of on there, and I'm going to go through and I'm going to test you on just the basics of everything that you've done this 6 weeks. If I want more of a variety, I may dip into one of the other 6 weeks if it's like easier stuff, because this 6 weeks was hard material. So I'm going to play around with it and everything, but don't worry, I am not testing you over everything in the whole semester. I'm not going to do it. I am going to do the stuff this 6 weeks, but I'm also going to maybe, to find some easier material to dip into last 6 weeks. I will be letting you know. Come Monday, we will start all the reviewing. Okay, so you're going to have a whole week of reviewing. This is the last new material you will have for the 2019-2020 school year. This right here is it. You're done. So all of next week we will be reviewing. That's it. Okay, so finish strong with this homework and the quiz on Friday, because that's the end of the grades for this 6 weeks. That's going to be it. All right, if you have any questions, let me know. Again, your exam, because I know a lot of people are wondering, I'm not doing the semester exam, and out of fairness, I'm not just going to do a chapter test, because can you imagine this being in that column for semester exam grade? It weights heavily, and if I were to just test you on this hard stuff, there's a chance that you don't do well, and that's going to throw your whole GPA for the whole semester. That would not be fair. This is too hard. That's why I'm doing a 6 weeks exam instead of a semester, because it has to go in that column, and I'm going to choose the easy stuff from each of these sections and chapters. Does that make sense? I hope it does. All right, take care, guys, and I will talk to you later. This may be the last time you see my face. Bye, guys.